Hello and welcome to ITP.net at JISEC 2021. Today we have with us Mohammad Arif from Microsoft. So Arif, welcome to ITP.net.
Thanks, Sarah. Thanks for having me over.
So Arif, can we start with what Microsoft's focus of participation is this year?
So when you think about it, with the pandemic, of course, the technology, the dependency on technology has dramatically increased, which also brings with it the security transformation that's required, right? So we have, as a company, we've been at the core of the technology transformation, enabling hybrid work. When you think with everyday technologies like Teams, so there has also been the onus on us to go help customers figure out how to secure that new mode of work. So we are here to kind of talk about that, about how customers can ensure that they have a really, really strong security posture when it comes to hybrid work. And more broadly speaking, most people don't realize it, but we're one of the largest cybersecurity companies today. We spend about $1 billion in research. We have over 3,000 people who are focused on security technologies. So we are here today to showcase all of our portfolio of security technologies along with some of our key partners.
So Arif, you just said the largest cybersecurity company. In line with that, can you take us through what Microsoft's cybersecurity initiatives are and how does this regional new threat landscape looks like today in the hybrid environment you just mentioned?
So maybe I'll talk a little bit about how the threat landscape has transformed. We see a few key key trends. First and foremost, we're seeing a lot of the privatization of cybersecurity attacks. So increasingly, we are seeing private sector attack groups. We track almost over 140 of those groups globally. We're also seeing a lot of much more large-scale, complex nation-state actors. And finally, also we're seeing with the pandemic and with COVID, and with how work has changed, that's become a new attack vector for a lot of our customers. So it's definitely increased year over year. So we have been tracking, almost we ourselves had to block about 30 billion email attacks last year. So we're seeing that continue to evolve. Now, in terms of what we are working with customers on, first and foremost, it's really as customers and their end users move to hybrid work. So when you think about it, it's not really just your perimeter that's the network anymore, right? Your users and home networks are part of your company network because they're working from home. So increasingly about how they help manage that better.
So we are talking about not just transformation in the way we work and we act, but also in how the threat actors are responding to the new environment. So can you take us through how the security priorities have changed for organizations and what they should be wary of, what they should be prepared for now?
So one key thing, one very really, really interesting observation we have seen is this concept of digital empathy, which is kind of saying, if you're a security professional, how do you move away from being the person who essentially blocks or turns down new work mechanisms to somebody who enables people to do that work? And that digital empathy becomes really important because that's the world we live in, right? Work needs to happen from anywhere, right? The key guidances we have with customers, there are a couple. First and foremost, identity is the control plane. Every customer needs to look at identity as a control plane because identity is the vector from which we see a lot of attacks. We see a lot of customers still use things like single authentication. We'd love to see more customers adopt multi-factor authentication. Most people don't realize, but with almost every Microsoft subscription that most of our customers own, multi-factor authentication comes as part of it. So it's just about turning it on. The reason why we believe identity is really key is, our CISO says this, hackers don't break in, they log in, right? So it's really about how you can make it much, much more harder for them to log in. The second key concept, and I don't tire of talking about this, is zero trust. Everybody needs to look at ensuring that their environment is a zero trust environment. What does that mean? That means if you're an end user, I don't trust you by default. Now that sounds harsh, but it's possibly the best way to manage end users and security, and of course information and data security. When you come to my network, you first have to prove yourself. You have to help validate the device you're trying to log in. You have to try to validate the application that you're trying to log in. So by default, I say you have no access until you ask for, you start with least privilege, and then I give you incremental access based on the proof you provide me about who you are.
After authentication, right? Yeah. Okay. Thank you for joining us today, Arif, and thanks for your time.
Absolutely. Great to be here. Thanks, Sarah.